Okay, so welcome everybody to the October Patreon, what have you, however you pronounce it. Okay, I was gonna try to sound like all professional and stuff, but it has been a fucking day. Alright, I'll just lay it out here. This video is made possible, okay, by the people who support my Patreon or whatever. I'm getting stuck in a loop. Basically, this is just so that I can thank my patrons, right? Well, I said I was going to do a thing with videos, and I thought, well, maybe I'll tack it on the end of one of my longer videos, like my World of Warcraft videos, or my whatever videos, my Sims, and that, or Spooky Story Time. And then I thought, no, because I would be making that video anyway. And it's not like, I mean, I want to do something special, because it was a reward. It was that I was going to mention, thank you for your awesome and continued support, or whatever. I decided that I would make a really cool video and then mention your names and stuff in the video. Like, for example, I would mention Adrian. I'm not going to do last names because I didn't think that part through. This is for October, by the way. I had planned to do this video in my Halloween costume. And my Halloween costume was Valak from or it was supposed to be Valak from The Conjuring 2 and from The Nun. And my daughter was dressed as the Crooked Man, and this was like her idea. It was like a couple's costume she came up with. Well, I was going to be Valak, but I had an allergic reaction to the makeup, and I ended up like getting these like red. I mean, I'm always red, so it's hard to tell the difference. But it's rough. It's yucky. So I had to wipe all the makeup off and just go as a regular nun. And I'm like, while that is scary, it doesn't have quite the gravitas. I also had the idea that it would be funny if I made this video dressed as Valak and eating 100 pieces of candy corn. 100 pieces! This was actually where the bullshit began. I went to the store, they were out of candy corn. How do you run out of candy corn on Halloween? That's the kind of item that you overstock on purpose. Okay, because you know in your heart that you're gonna need that shit on Halloween. Right? It's the one day a year for it to shine. And you ran out of it. So I had to get the harvest mix, and I had to sort it, because I said candy corn when I made this promise to no one in person. Like, I did not call up Angela C. and say, oh, I'm gonna promise you that because you pledged on my to be my patron on Patreon, that I'm gonna eat 100 pieces of candy corn, not harvest mix, candy corn. It's gonna definitely be candy corn and not harvest mix. I didn't do that. I didn't call anybody up. I didn't say publicly that's what I was gonna do, but I had this idea in my head, and I was gonna hold myself to it. So I went and I had to sort the harvest mix. I sorted out all the harvest mix. I had a deformed pumpkin I wanted to show you. And I've been digging through these candy corns like ASMR. Ooh, I might have eaten the ugly one. Oh, here it is! Look at this! That's supposed to be a pumpkin. Let's stack it up next to its friends. This is what you were supposed to do, what you were supposed to look like. Nailed it! Good job, pumpkin. You failed. I completely forgot what I was saying before I was going to show you that messed up pumpkin. But, I went through and I took out the ones that were not camera ready. And when I finally sorted out and counted 100 pieces of candy corn, it was a lot less impressive than I thought it was going to be. So that is not saying that I am not going to sit here and eat 100 pieces of candy corn, because I'm going to. I am going to make this video, and I'm going to eat 100 pieces of candy corn while I'm making this video, and I'm just going to talk. Which I hear is a thing people on YouTube do. They just eat and talk. So I'm going to eat 100 pieces of candy corn. Now, if my dog is excessively barking, or I say a bunch of dumb shit that I will later regret, I'm going to edit it out. So, thing number 2, okay, on all of this, is that I had also planned to do this out in the living room or the dining room where I usually film, in front of my altar where I usually film Drunk Tarot, but I was just really tired, and so I put it up in my office. And usually when you see my office, you see like that, like just that like area there. You don't see my craft table and like all of my knocked over pops that badly need to be dusted, and like my craft table that's absolutely covered with all sorts of awful stuff. So I apologize, for making a video in which I thank you for for paying me for quality content. And I'm making it in front of like the biggest mess ever. But I did want to get through this and do this because I don't want people like Ashley S. Thank you very much. To be, left out. And I don't want them to not see that I deliver on my promises because I love you guys. Not just those of you that give me money. That's really cool too. But I just love everybody that just kind of talks to me online and comes to the blog and comments and does all that stuff. That's amazing. It's awesome. You guys are fantastic. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be eating. To explain why I'm so tired, it's kind of a sad story. But it's going to lead to some interesting talk about funerals. I'm tired because I had a funeral to go to today, and grief is very tiring. It makes your eyes hurt. It makes your head hurt. It makes your nose hurt. I mean, my nose also hurts because I'm getting this, like, huge zit, and it's just like, come up already. Like, just launch at this point. I don't want to say a lot about it for the privacy of, like, the dead person. It's just hard when someone is wonderful and you lose them. And I'm not going to be a downer here. But that's why I'm tired today. So, at the funeral, I was talking to a friend, and it was at the luncheon. It was a Catholic funeral. There are just certain things that if you're Catholic in the Midwest, are going to be true about the funeral. Okay? At least one of these 3 songs are going to be sung. Okay? You're either going to hear Be Not Afraid, the song about He Will Raise You Up on Eagle's Wings, that one, and How Great Thou Art. One of those songs is going to be played. I was honestly surprised that we didn't hear the Eagle's Wings. I don't know what that song is called. I just think of it as He Will Raise You Up on Eagle's Wings. Make you shine as the sun and hold you in the palm of his hand. You also know that after the funeral, there's going to be a luncheon. And there's always going to be specific things at this luncheon. Okay, first of all, there's going to be sandwiches. When I say there's going to be sandwiches, I don't mean like there's going to be sandwiches. At a Midwestern Catholic funeral, the food that you're going to get in terms of sandwiches are these little buns, like slider buns. They're split open. There's going to be a tray that will have some kind of yellow cheese and some kind of white cheese, but I'm not sure that if it's necessarily cheddar and Swiss or cheddar and Colby or cheddar and whatever. It's literally just you would look at it and go cheese and maybe not be able to put the name of the cheese with the cheese. And then there will be ham or turkey and little crystal dishes that you would see like in a coffee set, like little crystal condiment dishes though. And they have like mustard or mayo, or it could be Miracle Whip, aka dressing. And possibly one with ketchup, usually one with ketchup. There will also be potatoes, cheesy potatoes of some kind. Now, sometimes it varies. Sometimes they're a scalloped type situation. Sometimes they're a grated type situation. Occasionally they are sliced with little breadcrumbs in there, but there will be a dish that will be potatoes and cheese. It's like a cheese sauce. It's just what it is. It's going to be there. There will be pasta salad of some kind. It will be either the classic spirals or macaroni. Sometimes it will have beans in it. Sometimes it will have shredded carrots. Maybe it will have both. Every once in a while, people get a little spicy and throw in some feta and olives. But the base ingredients for this are cold noodles and a bottle of Italian salad dressing. It will be there. It will be at the funeral. There's usually fruit. Oftentimes there will be chips. Drinks will probably be lemonade or tea or that orange stuff. There will be coffee carafes with those little, like the spiral ones, with the spiral top that screws on. My dog, by the way, is not in distress. He just barks because he's senile, and at night, when he gets tired, he gets confused, and he just lays on the floor and barks, and it's just a thing. He's not unhappy, or like he doesn't really need anything. He just actually kind of smiles and barks the whole time. Anyway, we decided that this is the appropriate method of laying out a Roman Catholic funeral dinner. Zone 1, plates, hot food. Now, you might be thinking, Jenny, why not silverware? I'll get to that part. I'll get to that part. Don't you worry, Christy E. I'll get to that part. Zone 2, hot casseroles. Okay? It's very important that the bottom layer of the plate is, because you gotta stack it. There's gonna be too much food. Do not come to my imaginary potluck and be like, I don't want my food to touch, because it's gonna touch. We're gonna have the big Chinette plates. They'll be the big ones, but it is gonna touch. Okay, but it's gonna touch, big time. So you're gonna put your hot foods down, and that's gonna be the base. Okay, zone 2, the cold salads, that's where you're going to take any of your savory cold salads. Your savory cold salads are all that should be up here right now, because there are cold salads that show up that are not savory, that are sweet. Zone 3 is where you're going to have your little sandwiches. That's where those are going to go. That's where you're going to make your little sandwiches. Your little sandwich goes on one side, on top of where the cold is. It goes on, and this might sound counterintuitive, but stick with me. It goes on the wettest salad, the savory salads, okay? It goes on the wettest one, because you're going to leave the driest salad open for the chips, which will be at the very end-ish. What zone are we on? Zone 4, I think? Wow, so my camera fell down. So hopefully this is the same angle. Either way, we were talking about the final zone, which I guess would be zone 4. Zone 4, I think, is going to have, that's where you're going to have your chips, because they will be able to be on the driest of the salads. And then that is where you pick up your silverware. Why? Because you're not going to be trying to handle you need to be able to support your plate as you're going through and doing this. And if you're trying to hold on to the silverware and the napkin, the plastic silverware probably, although sometimes you go and there isn't plastic silverware and it's like swanky real silverware, and there is an army of old women washing silverware in the back. They don't want your help. You're just in the way. Any of the salads that are not savory, any of the sweet salads, and the fruit plate, those are going to go over by the desserts. I know that you're supposed to be able to eat, like, cabbage and cherry salad, like, with the rest of, or, like, that, like, bright green lime jello cottage cheese thing with the pineapple chunks. Yes, in theory, that is a dinner course, okay? That is a part of a dinner meal. It is not an after dinner thing. I'm still trying to make a dent in this candy corn. I'm trying to make a dent. I'm fighting all my way here for Kristen W. I'm fighting through this candy corn, Kristen W, for you. Anyway, that's the way a Catholic funeral dinner should be set up. Oh my god, guys. I cannot make it through 100 candy corns. Oh my god, I regret so much. I regret all my choices. I also wanted, before I close this video down, now that I've named my awesome patrons, I really appreciate all your support, but I do want to steal a little bit of your thunder and direct it over at the people who jumped onto my Ko-fi account, or Ko-fi, or whatever account. Why did they have to give them these names? But the people who donated, who made those micro donations, and in some cases not so micro. So I did want to call out one person especially. I mean, I appreciate, and I literally could not list off all your names of the people that donated. Like, everybody that donated, like, $3, or $30, or $10, or $15, or whatever you donated. It made me feel so good, because it made me feel truly like somebody was out there and somebody has my back. And I really appreciate you guys for that in a big way. But I wanted to specifically mention it's Carrie C, because, well, you know why you're getting the shout out for the support that you've given me, not just this time, but lots of times before. I really do appreciate it, and I'm always astonished by it. And that's true of every donation that I get, and every time somebody signs up to be a patron on that website that I can't pronounce. I really love that you guys believe in me, and I really love that you guys enable me to explore goofy ways of artistically expressing myself, like trying to eat 100 pieces of candy corn. If you're a patron at the $5 level or above, and you didn't hear your name, these were just the people that signed up in October. I'll figure out something weird and kooky to talk about for the next video too. Hopefully it won't be a downer, but I thought this was good for a Halloween episode, and it's not even a spooky story. Thanks a million times for all of your support. I really appreciate it, and I love you all.